Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of my Bestiary tales. For episode 1, I want to cover the Devil's Bible, more commonly known as the Codex Gigas, which literally translates to Big Book. The manuscript itself contains the entirety of the Vulgate Bible and other popular works of the Middle Ages, which were all written in Latin. A few notable mentions being the Old Testament, the Etymologies of St. Isidore, Antiquities of the Jews by Flavius Josephus, including a collection of medical works of Hippocrates, Theophilus, and others. The Codex Gigas itself has an air of a mystery about it, due to the full-page portrayal of the devil himself and the sheer size of the manuscript, standing in at 36 inches tall, 9 inches thick, and weighing in at 165 pounds, making it the largest known surviving medieval manuscript to date. Due to the size and appearance of the Codex, there have been many tales of how it came to exist in the first place. One of the most popular tales being about a monk who made a deal that he could create a book filled with the world's knowledge. He did this because he was sentenced to death for breaking his vows, and in return offered to make the Codex in exchange for his life. Well, his plea was accepted, but his life would only be spared if he could finish the manuscript in a single night, which is why it's said he made the deal with the devil to begin with. In doing so, it's said that's how such a prominent depiction of the devil even came to exist in the Codex. However, this tale is suspected just to be religious propaganda. Now with the lore out of the way, let's get a better understanding of how the Codex Gigas was supposedly made. It's said that the Codex was made using the skin of 106 donkeys, or calf skins converted into 320, now 310 sheets of vellum, due to 10 pages being removed mysteriously. And also, the ink used seems to be made of crushed insects. Experts agreed that the Devil's Bible was written by the same scribe due to the exact same ink being used consistently throughout the entire book. And shockingly, that it would have taken exactly 20 years of working all day and night to complete the Bible in its entirety. Even though most of the stories behind the book can be disregarded as a tall tale, the one thing experts today can't fully explain is how the author's handwriting and illustrations show no signs of aging, what makes it seem as though the whole book was written in an unbelievably short time. The appearance of the Codex Gigas itself isn't anything to scoff at. The first thing you'll see before opening the book is its thick leather bindings that requires up to 2 grown men to even properly lift it. When opening the manuscript, the first thing that will greet you is a full-page illustration of the devil himself staring directly back at you. Beside him are 2 giant pillars that emphasizes his height. Immediately after this picture, a heavenly city is shown with the same border as Lucifer's portrait on the previous page, suggesting that the 2 pictures are connected. The city is said to represent God's kingdom, with the borders on this picture being the separation of heaven and earth, while the border on the devil's picture being the separation of hell and earth. Other things are also included in the book, such as exorcisms, magic spells, and a calendar of saints and bohemian people. These people were of status, and the calendar included the days that they were honored. Including the mention of the lost pages of the book, they have been rumored to be the song of the devil himself, giving instructions on how he can be contacted, or even summoned wherever the person pleases. Now, just like any other relic of the past, the Codex Gigas itself has been passed through a lot of hands from its alleged creation in the 13th century. The first record we have that shows this is the case is a note stating that the manuscript was pawned by the monks of Podlice in the monastery at Sedlik in 1295. Later it was said to be found in Brnov, which was near Prague. From there, Rudolf II, King of Hungary, took it to his castle in Prague in 1594. This is where the Codex stayed until the Swedish siege of Prague at the end of the 30-Year War in 1648. The Swedish army looted the castle, and their treasure of choice was the Codex, which is how it found its way to Stockholm, and later in 1877, the Codex Gigas became a part of the collection of Sweden's National Library in Stockholm. On May 7th, 1697, a fire broke out at the royal castle in Stockholm, and the National Library suffered a great mass of losses, and in order to save the Gigas, it had to be thrown out of window so it wouldn't get caught in the fire. All said and done, the fire was an unfortunate event, but it just adds to the legend of the Codex Gigas, which is said to carry a curse with it, It brings disaster and illness to whoever possesses it. Like and subscribe if you guys want some more content. And remember, later guys.